My name is Illia. I am 11 years old, but at that time I was 9. I live in Mariupol with my mother and brother. Well, used to live. Before the war, everything was fine. I had a good mother, a good school, friends, and a home. In general, my city was cool. At first, everything was relatively quiet, and then the explosion started. And after that, I realized that the war had already begun. Once we went to a neighbor's house to hide for the night, because our house was hit by a rocket, and it was no longer possible to live in it. And then there was a boom. I was injured here, and my mom was hit in the forehead. I realized that my mom was dead when this neighbor came to her and took her pulse. And after that, we all knew that my mother had died. I, more or less, managed to hold myself together. But it was very painful. Mentally, it hurt me much more than the pain injury brought me. The neighbor buried my mother in our own yard, behind our own house. They didn't just kill my mother, they literally did not only give her no chance to survive, but gave no chance to all the people in Mariupol. They treat civilians as if they were some kind of main enemy of peace. I stayed with the neighbors in that house for a while, and then one day these Russian soldiers came and announced evacuation. I was in Donetsk for a month. I underwent various surgeries and procedures there. The very first operation was to remove this fragment, but it was not easy. It was done without anesthesia. Despite the fact that I had a serious injury, in that hospital they still tried to, make me into a kind of propaganda tool. I was taught to write in Russian. And one day my doctor came to me and said that now you will not say glory to Ukraine, but glory to Ukraine as part of Russia. This was probably one of the methods of zombification. But I am not the one to be duped so easily.
Коли почалася повномасштабна війна,
After the full-scale war started on the 24th of February, I had contact with my daughter until the 2nd of March. And when contact was lost and there was no electricity, my son in Austria had already found a video for me from the Russian Federation, where Illia was admitted to a hospital, a trauma center in Donetsk. And he sent me this video, and I learned that Illia was alone in the hospital, and my daughter had been killed. I realized that my daughter could no longer be brought back. And I realized that Illia had to be freed from Donetsk. And then I'd already begun to dream about how it would be, and began to knock on different doors, and thank God they helped me to do it. On the 22nd of April, we returned to Akhmedid Hospital in Ukraine. He couldn't walk. There, our doctors took 4 fragments out of him. 11 more remain. He was in such a condition. You should understand, he had a school, he had a home, he had a mother, and he lost all of that, his entire childhood. He kept to himself, he was afraid of noise, he was afraid of air raid sirens. He had no memory. He remembered only those moments that were with him in that horror that he went through with his mother in Mariupol.
In the future, I would like to become a doctor, so that I can be the same as our guys on the front lines, combat medics and ordinary ones. They are all real heroes. They're like soldiers, although their work is a little different, but they are all heroes.